All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of R&B Reviews. Today, we're going to be talking about My Hero Academia. We're going to be talking about the show, like the whole season 5, and we're going to be talking about the movie. But what order do you want to go into first? Let's talk about the season 5 first because it goes in that. I think
there's going to be spoilers for sure. Also, check out the Spotify and Apple Music, Google Podcasts if you don't like to watch the content. But yeah. What's your question?
How did you like... No, first I'll say what I liked, and then I'll kind of ask you about that. So, I think season 5 was not as good as, the other seasons, but I liked the first half of the season compared to, the second half of the season. They're definitely two different, sections. Yeah. How did you feel about, the My Hero Academia? I
agree with you. It wasn't as good as the other seasons, and the only reason I'll give it a pass is because if I didn't know this information, or I talked about it with other people and they said this is a lead up to another huge thing. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, if I don't have that information, I'm not ripping it, but I'm getting into this wasn't My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
So I was watching it in the beginning, and I like the beginning episodes because I'm like, oh, this is typical My Hero. They're doing the training and then class versus class, groups versus groups, and it was cool, interesting. Deku learns a new power, goes wild. I was like, damn, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Everything was solid, and then they changed it to this overall arcing storyline of Hawks and the villains and everything like that. So it was interesting. I liked seeing all of that. The characters had to go on another trip. Things that were taken back was I didn't realize season 5 we're still in the first year for them. So I was kind of shocked by that. I thought they were in second year.
You asked me that question, what year are they in?
Yeah,
I was like first year, but only if only because of I literally heard the girl say oh, we're almost done our first year in UA.
That's when I realized I was first year. I was like, whoa, what's going on here? I pride myself on being up to date with exactly what's going on in the animes, and I honestly deadass thought this was season or year 2 for them. So it was kind of weird for that. But I agree with you. The second half was a little bit different, and the plot points it was going back in time, showing me everything. It was cool to see the villains are also getting stronger. It's not just stagnant. It is moving forward.
Yeah.
It was just a little slower than what I was expecting. I guess what they're doing is a season. A season goes up and down.
Yeah.
Obviously, but I thought if you check from season 1 to season 5, I thought they would do a full thing where it's gradually moving forward. Yeah. This one felt like it wasn't moving forward. It was
just on the downhill.
Yeah. So I was like, this isn't, and this the whole time I was watching this, and I was like, okay, I can see why people didn't rate this S.
Yeah.
Now
the season? Or the anime?
The anime. Remember when we did the anime power rankings?
Yeah.
Or tier list? You can check that video out on our channel for sure. A lot of people, me and Ridwaan were the only ones that ranked it S, I want to say, and then everybody else ranked it A. And now it's
it hasn't gotten there yet. Hasn't done, we still have to see more.
And they're oh, it's about to break it. But now I feel I agree with them.
It's A? It's A,
Did
you tear up during the season at all?
No, there wasn't
I teared up.
A sick moment. Let me hear this spot.
I teared up when they were. I think the first 5 episodes, every episode, I teared up when they're doing the training arc.
What they do?
It wasn't training. It was the class 1A versus class 1B.
Yeah.
I was just I don't know what, I can't tell you which specifics, but them just training oh, we gotta defeat this or we gotta do this. I actually teared up, and then when Tenya Ida, he was stuck in the ice, and then after the guy's oh yeah, I'm getting teary eyed just thinking about it.
Yeah, he said something I think his move's called Reciprocon or
Reciprocal Blast.
The guy's
he's
you have it for 10 seconds, right?
Yeah.
He's that's trash.
He's that's before, but I've been training so hard.
He's 10 seconds.
I might rewatch that because that was really
that was pretty cool because he's 10 seconds. That was the old Reciprocal. This is a new move, pretty much.
Oh, and then he's
my God, he dusted
amazing. That was amazing.
But it wasn't something to tear over.
I literally teared up, and then that's why when I told you I felt bad because when I told you oh, I teared up during the movie, I was oh, you're probably gonna think about a whole thing, but literally I teared up in when they were we'll get to the movie later again, but quick, when they're flying down off the plane and they're like, oh, we gotta like infiltrate like the cities. Like I think it was like their first like sting. I was like tearing up just watching them like just like go down off the plane and stuff like that. Yo, those are not even tearing up. I don't know why, but like I literally started like tearing up.
You know what makes it worse for your tearing up? His older brother's not dead. I thought his older brother died.
No, he's in the whole time. He can't be a hero anymore.
He's not dead. He's alive. Like, yo, the whole emotional thing just takes
but you can't be a hero anymore.
Step back. But if you gotta agree, if he died, it would be a whole different level.
Yeah. But he didn't know what his brother was in the hospital, and like his brother was in the hospital. Like, when it first happened in the first season, he was like comatose, and they're like, oh, they don't know if he's gonna live or die, and it was just like crazy. I don't know what it is about Tenya Ida's story, but he's literally like my favorite character.
Yeah.
But yeah, like those training scenes, I teared up. And then like I don't want to skip too much without or I'll ask this question and then we'll get to like the villain part. So like when you see like with Hawks, like how do you feel about like Hawks being like a double agent? And did you have any thoughts on that? I have one thought I want to say, but I want to see
if I was a villain, like he wouldn't be able to fool me
as being a double agent.
Yeah, like bro, you're number 2, you've never done anything, and now all of a sudden you want to be you don't agree with that way of thinking. Like I would use you and you wouldn't be able to, like he's trying to get any information. Like I feel like it's very obvious, but I guess for the story they're just letting it happen.
You know what I got cheesed at? The story tells you he's a double agent. I wish the story hid that from us, so we'd be like, yo, what side? Because when they first did it, I was like, oh, is he like a villain? But then they tell you, hey, he's a double agent, by the way. They could have just told us at the very end. Like they could have had us guessing, yo, is he a double agent?
That would have been really smooth, and you won't remember this, but that's what they do in Harry Potter. Snape is the double agent, and they don't tell us till, bro, I didn't
was he like a triple agent? Because like, no, he was a double agent, but then didn't he tell them like, oh yeah, he's like, he told whatever Voldemort like, hey, I'm spying on Hogwarts for you. But he was really spying on Voldemort for Hogwarts. Is that like a triple agent?
I guess whatever you want to say. But he was ultimately he ended up like being considered a good guy.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that. So the entire time, like, and I am unfortunately not good at reading, so I didn't read the books. When I was watching the movies, I was like, okay, he's being a snake to the students. He's not nice. He's not nice. And then it's like, oh, well, he's working with Voldemort, and then Harry says things like, "How dare you say what you're saying? How dare you stand where he stands?" Because he kills Albus Dumbledore, which is like a big character, and I'm like, yeah, yo, that guy's a snake. And then at the end, like it shows him dying, and then the tear drops, and it just explains his whole backstory. Honestly, I was tearing up, and then I was like, damn,
it's actually such a sad.
That's so sad, and then. Yeah, that's the good double agent like thing, because if they showed me prior to it, like it wouldn't be that emotionally like changing, and that was a big moment in the movie. So I agree with you. They shouldn't have.
Why they didn't? I was actually cheesed because he goes into the room. They're like, oh, like you're working with us. I was like, yo, why would you tell me this? Like, just keep this a secret. And then it would make more situations hype. Like when he was talking to like Bakugo and Deku and stuff like that.
You'd be like, why did he give
them the book?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, why would he give them the book? Like, what's going on? Like it would have me thinking a little bit more. But like, I think he played his part as like a villain, kind of like, I don't know, kind of cool. Because he always, they still wanted him to be a number 2 hero. So like, I guess he kind of like had to play both sides anyways.
Yeah, he's a good character overall. Like, he is interesting. He doesn't want to be number 1 because he's kind of like Shikamaru. He's like, that's a drag, but he also has like a good moral compass.
How do you feel about not to cut you off, how do you feel about Endeavor and like his like family situation? Do you think it's too extra, or do you think it's like everyone's in the right? Because they focus a lot
on Endeavor. Honestly, I like Endeavor as a character, and they're making a good. That's character development in my opinion. Like they're really showing, like we already saw him little bits and pieces, but then when they focus on him, they show his growth and his change. It's cool. The things that I didn't like was I think they're making it too humorous and like too like cringy, I want to say.
Yeah.
But overall, like it's whatever. Like it's an anime, and like there's gonna be moments where people will have blood come in their nose because they see a naked girl or something like that. So that stuff is not a big deal for me. But I like him.
I think, like, honestly, that part is good. I think the dilemma between, like, Todoroki and his brother, like, his brother doesn't accept Endeavor yet, and then Todoroki's, like, on the fence of it. Like, I don't know. like Endeavor, I guess what Endeavor did is bad enough for them to be like, oh yo, like we don't really rock with you, like, but then like I like it. I just trying to understand more of like how they feel towards Endeavor and like if they should like accept his apology or not. I feel like they should, but like I'm trying to be like put myself more in like their shoes of like how they feel towards like Endeavor.
I can agree with the brother. Like the brother's like, listen, man, like just because you come back and you do this, like that doesn't change what was already done, and like you can't just say I'm gonna atone because that's not how it goes. So I can see the brother's point of view. The Todoroki's point of view is a little harder for me to relate to, but I can see why he's doing it, because he's more of like, he's always been like a calm, neutral personality. So he's like, listen, like I'm not gonna say that you're my dad, but like I'll have to watch your actions and then judge based off of that. So he seems like very logical answer. But I did really like when he said, listen, I'm here just to use you. You're not gonna use me. That's how this is gonna go. I'm here just to use you. You're not my dad. I don't know about all that. I'm here to use you and get stronger.
And I was like, he actually still followed through with his plan of like how he trained them, because like he would like do one hit of like attacking a villain, and after he like moved to the next, it's like, you guys got to keep up and stuff like that. So I did like how he stayed true. He didn't let like his change of character change how he would like actually like train them.
Yeah, that was good.
So I thought that was really good.
Todoroki is kind of a weird character in this season. Like he seems like he's very clueless for social cues and stuff. And I was
wasn't like that before.
It wasn't like that. It just came out of nowhere, and I'm like, okay, like it's not funny. It's not like, I don't know what your reaction you want out of me as an audience member, but like I don't want to see things like that. Like he's supposed to be, he's smart, he's talented, he's logical by his answer to his dad. So where does this like cluelessness come from? And they were doing a lot of it. It's like kind of like Bakugo's like anger issues. Like he just snaps at every little thing. But I feel like that was shown from the start, but it was also like accelerated this season too. Like every little thing he was like, shut up nerd, and like he just kept doing that over and over again. I'm like, I feel like they just accelerated that for some reason. The
Todoroki thing, you're 100% right, because he wasn't. I didn't, until you said it, I didn't really notice how bad it was. But like they do make him clueless, and I understood like before, he like the way he reacted to social things is just like he just didn't care, nonchalant. Like he didn't really have emotion towards things, but like he wasn't clueless. Like he understood what was going on. So that is a lot. Like that is like a weird thing that they added. I wonder why they pushed that, or like maybe it's just a bad translation from like Japanese to like dub or Japanese to English, and like that's kind of messed up there. But I don't know, I never really understood like the point of like his cluelessness, but maybe I think they're gonna keep going with that though. Like it feels like something that they're not gonna stop.
Stick for sure.
That's definitely gonna stick. And then like what else? I really want to talk about like my theory on the villains, but do you have anything to say before like the villains section or the villains arc?
We're still talking about season 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, before we talk about the movie, we'll rate season 5 as
I have the villains arc on season 5. Like,
okay. Yeah. So go ahead.
But you do have nothing before that villain section?
No, I was just after that training stuff, and like them training with the Endeavor. And I think they had a week off.
Yeah.
I was just trying to figure out, like, I was trying to still wrap around my head that they're in first year, and I was just wondering when is this gonna upgrade? Like,
how do you like that character that's like gonna be the new what's the guy's name? He's like the new teacher. Who's the guy that has the quirk with the eye? Like if he looks at you,
Shoto Aizawa.
Yeah. So he was training like another student.
Yeah, I was trying to bring that up. His name is Shoto something as well. That's where the names are similar to Shoto Todoroki, Shoto Aizawa, and Shoto or something Shoto.
Yeah.
I like that character. He seems cool, and I like the fact that he's like, listen, I'm not here to make friends. I'm trying to do my thing and get here. And then everybody's like, oh, you're really sick. Like, don't worry about it. I don't know if in real life that would happen. Like if say somebody came to our class and we're all cool with each other, and somebody came and said, listen, I don't care to be friends. I'm gonna try to like beat you guys. I don't know if we would be like, oh, like you're sick. Like come on, like you're nice with it. I feel like there needs to be more serious competitiveness. Like they're really doing it like good-hearted competitiveness. Like if me and you compete against each other, we know it's like good-hearted. Yeah. But sometimes there needs to be like not good-hearted, because
I feel like the competitiveness between class 1A and class 1B was pretty like
It's cool, but it's like it's still cringy. Like it's the same thing over and over again. One character saying we're better than you guys. You guys are lazy slackers, and we're doing this. And then and everybody else is nice. So we've seen that several times.
The only thing I guess I was surprised about is like Class 1A. I expected, like, if they shocked me by having Class 1B win, like I kind of knew Class 1A was gonna win by like 1. Like, I don't know what was gonna happen, but I thought Class 1A was gonna win by 1. But they had the tie, so the tie was like,
I was questioning that. I was like, listen, it's gonna be very regular for you to have 1A win because that's what we're watching. They're the main, and they're like, but it's also regular nowadays for Class 1B to win, because then it's gonna say 1A has to work harder because 1B's been working.
So you didn't know which way.
So I was kind of shocked, and then I was like, I could see it. I think it came down to the fourth round. I was like, all right,
Deku. I think that was the Deku one, right?
No, this is before Deku's, I want to say. 1B needed to win. Like if they lose, it's like it's over. And they lost. I'm like, all right, well.
No, they tied that one. No,
they lost. Deku's team won.
And then I swear they lost. They won the last like the score was decided at the very last section. No.
They because the one character says, I know we can't win, but we can tie at least. And then, they don't even tie, so then they lose.
Yeah.
And they're like it doesn't matter, we won a few rounds, and to beat 1A, like they're dog shit.
That was like a huge thing.
Yeah,
I didn't like that then. I wanted 1B to win, kind of. And like the characters on 1B, like some of them are good, but I feel like the designs obviously were like not as sick.
Katsuki Bakugo's round was sick. His was sick.
Who is Bakugo? Who was it?
Shoji, the guy with the ears.
Yeah.
No.
The electricity guy.
No. The girl with the headphone jacks. Her name's Earphone Jack. As a superhero, terrible name. The tape guy. Sato. Yeah. And the guy that eats the sugar. And Bakugo was like, listen, you guys are like bums. You guys are backing me up. Like at any moment, you're backing me up. And then they're like, here we go. Like this is gonna be it. And then I thought, I was going into it, I was like, okay, they're gonna blame it on him having a big ego and doing this.
Yeah.
And boom, he crushes them. Like he snaps. And then even like his own teammates are like, wow, he told us, like he protected me. And then they go flashback to him talking. He's like, listen, I'll have your back at all times. I won't let you get hurt. And I just asked you to do the same for me. I was like, yo, this guy is sick.
He was actually, that was actually
I was like, this guy's sick. And then he's like, he protects everybody. And then they protected him. And like, he dusted him. And then they went back and they're like, he's talking again. And they did it perfect. That episode was amazing. He's like, we're going to have a flawless victory. Like, none of us are getting captured, and we're capturing all of them flawless. And they think they did it in like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, they did it mad quick.
Snap.
That was sick.
I was like, this guy's a G. And the cool part about that is you can see his progression as a character development, skill, how people see him. And he competes with Deku without having the best superpower ever.
Yeah.
He has a nice power, but he's not competing. Like, Deku has one for all, plus 6 other abilities coming up, right? Yeah. And Bakugo has to be the endeavor to his All Might and compete with him with only one power. And I was like, this guy's nice. Like he knows it. He's everything from intangibles to everything. He has it down. Maybe he just doesn't have the social talking skills, but he's nice.
He actually did grow as a character and become like such a likable character from like the beginning, where he was kind of like the villain character.
Yeah.
And then like now he's like
the anti-hero type.
Yeah. But now everyone likes him, so like I think that was cool. That training arc was like pretty good. Like
I liked
a lot of those episodes. Now for the villain arc, where they start to talk about the villain, I think the reason why the villain arc wasn't bad is because they took a completely different approach to show like what the villains were doing. Like whereas like when they showed like what Deku's training and like Deku trying to be like the number one hero, I noticed that even with like the music and everything for like the villain arc, it was just so different that I think they should have portrayed him trying to be like a villain in the same way they portrayed Deku and Bakugo trying to be like the number one hero, like almost in like a motivational way. Because some of the things he did were motivational that if Bakugo did it, they would have had like the right music, they would have had the right scene. It would have been lit, yeah. Like he's like, they're like, oh, he has to stay up for, he can only sleep for like 3 hours and then he has to wake up and he has to fight again and stuff like that. Like they kind of did it. They just didn't portray it the same way because he was a villain. They didn't like. But
they talked about it.
Yeah, they just talked about it. Like they didn't have like, they didn't show how motivational it was. And I understand what they're trying to do because he is a villain at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. But I really, really, really wanted to see like more of that. Like I really wanted to see him like go off and stuff.
His backstory was actually really like interesting. How he like didn't know he had these powers. How his dad was very against it. That was like really well done.
Blood. Like it was actually mad bloody.
Yeah, it was really well done. He did snap, kills his family. And he's like, you know what, part of me did enjoy it. Like, these guys didn't help me. And I guess from a different perspective, like you can say the people that are bystanders are similar to the people that are hurting you because they're not doing anything to help.
I think he only killed his father because he meant
to do his father, but everybody else was sort of an accident.
Was an accident, yeah.
So that was cool to see, and then his name gets changed. All for One steps in. That was really interesting to see when he's fighting that one businessman, the big guy that's stronger because of stress.
Yeah.
That was cool, and he even said like, what's his name? Tomioka or Tom. Whatever,
the businessman?
No, the main villain, the leader of the villain. Yeah, well, he says, he's like, when they're having their battle, he's like, whoa, this guy's like on a different level. Like he's like, this guy has gone through so much strenuous training that you can only do when you're in like a kill or be killed or train hard situation. And I was like, that's interesting to hear, but it would have been cooler to see, because now like in my mind, like the only way he trained was he got the scientists to help him, right? But in reality, he was pushing his body to the limits to be able to handle what the scientist was providing him in terms of power. I thought
that was like when he was fighting like the monster. Like it wasn't at the train or be killed situation.
No, the businessman says it, and then the monster that you're talking about, the monster that looks like a mountain. Yeah, he sees him fighting the guy, and he sees him crush like the whole area around him. Yeah, and he's like, "Whoa, this guy is the successor."
I mean, like, so you know how he's like, "Oh, this can only be done in a train or be killed situation."
Yeah,
but he was in a train or be killed situation before he fought the businessman, because he fought like that monster, and that monster was trying to kill him. And like the monster would try and kill him for 4 hours and then go to sleep or some shit. I don't remember. Yeah. I don't know how like the
he slept for like 3 hours and then he'd come back.
But like if he faltered, that monster would kill him.
Yeah, I agree. That was pretty. I guess you're right in that set. But I thought it was like full on training, and it would have been cool to see the training.
Yeah. How do you feel about Twice? I didn't like. I don't know. Like the villains just weren't it for me. Like Twice and like the girl that he likes. It wasn't like. It wasn't sick. Like none of that villain arc was like mad interesting for me. And I don't want to say it upset me, but it kind of like made me feel like, yo, I wasted my time watching this.
It was cool for Twice up until the end where he still didn't have control over his personality disorder.
Yeah.
So like it looked like everybody was progressing in terms of skill, like or the girl and him were progressing because they were on the brink of death, and it was like Super Saiyan stuff. At the brink of death, like their abilities went to a different level. Yeah. Because that's their survival instincts. So I thought it was really interesting. It was really cool up until the end where they're like, yeah, he still has a personality disorder. I was like, oh well, all that time was just wasted.
What was it? How did it get worse? I think he had 3 personalities now. No.
Yeah, I think he got more or something. They're like, how did you get worse? And I was like,
I liked having just the 2. Because with just the 2 personalities, I felt like it was like good or bad. Like he was saying something positive and something negative. Like the third, like having 3 or 4 is like overkill. But I don't know. Maybe they do something to his character that make it like more interesting. I'm trying to see what else. That was it for like the arc. Usually I have a lot more to say about My Hero, but like that was it. I would say like the villain story didn't have me tearing up.
You could see how this was like a building season for anything going forward, right?
I wanted it to be more than that though. I wanted it to be like I like tearing up at least once every episode.
I don't think you're gonna like what I have to say about the movie, though.
Well, really?
Yeah.
I like the movie.
What would you rate the season, though?
Oh, the season? Maybe I'm as harsh. Maybe like a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10?
Because the second half was like bad to me.
Okay, and would you... Well, obviously, you're going to recommend watching it, right? Because it's nonetheless. I would give it a 6.8 maybe out of 10.
That makes
7?
sense.
I don't know. The beginning
was good. It's just second half I didn't like.
I didn't mind it. I feel like it was just like moving weird. It's a setup now. The Eternals, don't worry about that, but it's a setup for this. I don't know.
No, I'm just saying, like, no, I graded it bad anyways. I could give it a 6 out of 10, but I'm saying it's a setup. Maybe that's why you give it 6.8. Maybe that's to you why, like, yo, this is a 6.8 out of 10.
Okay, any other points for this season?
Nah.
Alright, so what did you think of the movie?
I like the movie. I thought the movie was good. Can I, like, you want me to say the whole thing, or you just want me to keep it brief? I thought the movie was good. I liked how they made it more real world. They had a character who was like living in, and I had so much to say about the movie. He was living in the real world. He was kind of living like in the hood. They explained he had an interaction with Deku, and then he was explaining like, oh, like Deku's like, I just want to be a hero. I just want to be the type of person that helps people. He's like, well, I can't do what you can because like I'm in like this situation. And it was like more real world. And I felt like the police in the show were definitely in the States, because that guy started running away, and they're like, oh, we're clear to shoot, and they just started blasting him. So I was like, yo, these are definitely American cops.
I don't think it was America. It was a different Oyen, whatever.
But I think it was based off of America, because there's nowhere else.
No, there is an America in My Hero World.
Because they had the San Francisco Bridge in this one.
They did, but they had the country name was different.
Yeah, it was
because it was beside a different country. But I'm pretty sure in previous
maybe they just didn't want to hate.
Maybe like, they didn't want to say.
I'm telling you, bro, because come on, bro. The guy said he's a little kid, and he's like, "Oh, we're clear to shoot." I didn't like his quirk. I think his the kid's backstory was good, like how his dad was trying to help, how his dad joined like the villainous group, or at the time we think it's the villainous group, and everybody turned their back on him, and then he ended up having to live in like the slums. He had to turn to a life of crime just to make money, just to like feed like his two like little siblings. So like I liked they took a different tone with this one. Like life wasn't always great and amazing. Like life was actually hard for him. They didn't put Tenya Ida in the story. They dropped the ball on that one. I don't know why Tenya Ida wasn't like, why he was just in the thing, but they do explain it in season 5 because I don't think he was at a co-op or whatever. Like he wasn't at one of the top hero like internships.
But he was in the movie, wasn't he?
He was in the movie, but he wasn't like fighting. Like he was just in like the dorm. So like he wasn't infiltrating Egypt. He wasn't infiltrating like all these other spots.
Could you rate the movie for me?
I would rate the movie 7.5 out of 10.
7.5. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought you would go. So, okay, this movie was good, and the plot was good. I liked the plot, and the villain group was interesting. It was humans that didn't like this stuff, kind of going off like some sort of Bible. It was interesting. It was smart. Deku was wanted for murder. Interesting. The whole aspect was pretty cool. I liked seeing all the heroes come together, fight. The things I didn't like was I feel like there was just a bunch of situations where instead of like showing me something cool or like explaining something well within the story, they would just play the music and then have them be like, oh, I have to go beyond, and they just kept doing that, like scenarios.
Wait, expand on that.
So I feel like now My Hero is at a point where it's not going to the next level. It's staying stagnant with what it does, and what it does is it tries to get these intense moments and then just play the music for the fight scenes, and like, I won't let you do this, and then that's it. Like they're just showing me that the fights, I didn't like the fights because I guess it was because I'm watching it on a big screen. Yeah. And it was just like this. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't really see the fight happen. It's just moving so fast. So, I don't know. It was just weird. Me and Aaron were talking about it too.
You watched the sub or dub?
Dubbed.
Okay.
We watched at the end, the main villain locks everything down. And then...
That escape.
Yeah, he locks everything down. Now it's just Deku and thing.
Yeah, that part I didn't like.
But then the character comes, the guy with the fucking bird. I forget his name. He comes through. How does he come through? It was locked.
Wait, what do you mean?
The guy shuts down the whole thing. It's a 1-on-1 fight. But the guy with the bird comes through. The character you said, he's just living his life. He
shuts down he
shuts the entire spot down. There's metal things blocks the door. But this guy comes out of nowhere.
I don't remember that. I don't remember the metal things come blocking the door.
Yeah, that's what.
But happened. I do know that kid has I know his powers.
Yeah, I forget they're gonna put him as the main. Yeah, Rhodey shows up. Rhodey's power kinda ass. The whole time they say his powers. The whole time they could have just had Fleck, the villain, doesn't know Rhodey's power.
Yeah.
So what he could have just done is given the key to the bird to Pino, and Pino could have just handled the situation while you pretend to fight the villain. The entire time that could have happened. Deku just consistently. He knows the Flex ability is to reflect any attack you give to it. So, and Deku's supposed to be the smart analytic type. So all he does is, okay, I'll keep hitting him. I have to go beyond. Then the music played. I have to go beyond. And me and Aaron like, yo, like
to bro, be honest, that is a good point.
Like in my aspect is like if I'm fighting a guy, like you say you reflect everything I attack on you.
Yeah.
And it hits me, so I'm taking damage while I'm trying to give damage. So I'm just beating myself up and just wasting time in that aspect. My first thought would be like, why don't you hit the ground so he like crumbles?
As soon as you started the point, I was like, yeah, you could have hit the ground.
Why don't you hit something else where it reflects him and he can't? It's not a power that hurts him, and I don't know. The Fleck guy, he just never wanted to get his power stronger. Because he just had the ability to
reflect anything.
and then at the end he wanted to go beyond and beyond his limits too. So I don't know. I feel like it's just hitting this cliche where they just keep hitting this wall and they don't want to progress.
Almost like a Dragon Ball Z type thing.
Yeah, exactly like that. Like I want something more from and I love those scenes. Those scenes are great.
No,
but
you do have a good point.
But it's just I feel like it's repetitive. And it's sad to see because we both ranked it an S tier, and this is people are saying this is not canon. It doesn't have anything to do with it. All these movies are canon. These movies are gonna be canon because characters from the movies are in the manga itself. So these are canon movies, whether you like it or not.
I feel like, but the thing about the movies is like we always know like we're gonna get a lower quality movie. Like for example, the movie before this one was trash. Like the movie when they went to the island. And then they had like Bakugo and Deku like merge and stuff like that. That was wild. And then they explained it away by saying like, oh, they lost their memory
and they forgot.
So it's like with this one, I guess I liked it because it was more so different than that. Like
because the story was good in this one.
Yeah,
and I'm fine. Like in the movies, I do expect like the storyline not to be as sick as the season, obviously, because season's based completely off manga, and then. And it's spaced out. There's a lot of thought going into it. And I expect the movie to have great visuals and just be like a good thing to watch.
Yeah.
But I think this one went opposite. It gave me a good story, but it didn't give me something nice to watch itself. Todoroki, his fight wasn't like crazy.
I like because I like when they were in the helicopter scene. I like that scene.
What was that scene?
The one when they're about to cross the border and then the girl comes in with the helicopter and shoots arrows at them.
That was cool.
I like that scene.
I like the girl. That girl's power looked like it was pretty sick.
Yeah.
I like the heroes on the side fighting more, like to find the bombs and I like that was pretty more. Sick. Yeah.
I like the story about how when he's like, oh, like we didn't know that his dad was like actually a good guy, so they go to the computer.
That was good.
And then after they say like, oh, like the scientist died, but we didn't know. Mm-hmm. And then later on he finds out. Then they show the cutback of when they say it again, like, oh, like John the scientist was killed by like he gave me this key to like change everything. Yeah. And then we see his face like, oh my god, like that's my father that like died and stuff like that. So like I like that scene. I like that scene too. I thought it was like. it was just good because like compared to like the other anime movies, not Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer was definitely better than this one. Demon Slayer
might have the best movie.
Yeah, easily. But like it was good compared to like other anime movies. I watched this one. I was like, yo, this is interesting. Like I'm actually like I care about what happens here. I don't know. Like I liked it.
And then another part was like that same thing where Rhodey's dad is a scientist, but he was forced to do it.
Yeah.
So Rhodey doesn't know this, and everybody's blaming his dad and saying like you guys are scum, blah blah. He has to move from his mansion type house to like a trailer park with his siblings, and he gets mad at his dad for doing that to him. Eventually he kind of like forgives him, I guess. But at the end of the movie, I think he gets credit, like his dad gets credit, everybody knows, and Aaron said, so what, Rhodey can't go back and live in the house? They can't give the house back?
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that's facts.
Me and my brother were talking about that. He's just like, yo, like, he literally saves the world, and they put him back in the hood. Like,
and they mentioned him too, like, yo, Rhodey did this. But they're like, go back to the hood, dude.
And like, he had to work for that one scumbag bartender or bar guy.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I think that was a bad ending on their part too. And like, bad, like, visually, like, but I think they're like, because the movie people are different from the manga people, so I think they're saying like, hey, like at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is that you did something good. But like, I don't know, you're right on those weak parts, but I still think that strong parts. I still think the road trip strong. I didn't think the road trip, they should have spent the road trip together that long, like
showing us that much.
Yeah, like I wanted them to be more like split of like, hey, like but that
was the connection from Deku and Rhodey. Deku was changing Rhodey's perspective.
I don't really want to see Deku and Rhodey.
But that's what changes.
I want to see Todoroki and Tenya Ida. I'm sorry, I'm just telling you.
But that's what changes Rhodey's mind to help save the whole fucking whole world, right?
You're right. I just want to see Tenya Ida more. And like Todoroki.
We need a break from Tenya Ida.
Todoroki. We barely see Tenya Ida.
So My Hero Academia, if you're listening, we need a break.
No. We need Tenya Ida.
My friend is just crying.
Tenya Ida is one of the best characters.
you show Tenya Ida, waterfall is automatic. It doesn't even.
But he's one of the best.
He could be smiling in the episode, just happy.
I genuinely think that Tenya Ida doesn't get as much like recognition of what he does. He tries to lead the class. He's like the heart of the class. He's the pure character in that show.
Deku's pure.
He's selfish.
No, look at you trying. Look at him trying.
The number one hero, Tenya Ida, goes out of
Tenya, number one hero to be able to save everybody.
Tenya Ida, if you had a situation and Tenya Ida had to weigh the situation and Deku had to weigh the situation, Deku is always gonna weigh the situation in a sense where he's the hero. Tenya Ida will always make the right choices. Say for example, he's like, okay, like, not all of us say like these guys are trapped, we should go save them. Tenya Ida's like, we don't have the resources, we gotta go back and get more resources. While Deku's gonna be like, I'm gonna go and risk my life without them. Now in the real world situation, Deku might be another one of the people that's trapped, and he might ruin the whole rescue situation.
No, I gotta throw a flag on the play.
That's what I think.
I gotta throw a flag on the play. That's cap. Deku does sometimes. He is the backup. Like they'll show moments where in the earlier seasons where he's like, oh, I can't do this, but like other people can, and he'll put them in a position to succeed.
Not the way Tenya Ida does it. Tenya Ida
will just say, I can't do this, you can do it.
Tenya Ida did it once, but he was being selfish, and that's when he wanted to fight Stain on his own, and he almost died.
He just couldn't do it. He's not that dude, but he's a good guy.
He was that dude in the thing is, you know what cheesed me too, when it was class 1A versus 1B. How did Tenya Ida, I think Tenya Ida was running, there was a scene where he was like running, like he's using his reciprocal engine, and I think it dies out just at the end, and like the ice gets him, and like
he wasn't fast enough. He saves Todoroki. Yeah,
and he's like, and he falls like 1 second faster or something.
He loses the thing, but that's good. It's growth for him. But yeah,
he's literally
Deku's pure. You can't say Deku's not pure.
Oh, I'm not a fan of
Deku. If Deku puts himself in a situation where only he's the hero, then you're saying he has ego. correct?
Yes, because you know what he did that he was very wrong. When Rhodey was running away, Deku tried to search Rhodey for his briefcase, and Rhodey says, "Hey, you don't even have permission to be a hero here, or like to do what you're doing."
But he didn't know if he had permission or not. But the right thing, regardless of
Deku knew he didn't have the jurisdiction.
He didn't know that because I think he questions. He's like, I'm not sure if my pass works here or not. But regardless of that, the correct ethical thing is to make sure like that wasn't a stolen thing. The moral thing, legally, you're speaking legally, but morally speaking, he's still pure. He
does, because who gave him the right to search every person for their bag, or search every person's suitcase?
You can stress this all you want.
Just because you think that they might have something.
There's a chart online. We can go over this, and they go over like who is a lawful like citizen, and who's like or lawful bad guy, neutral bad guy. I've seen that before. That chart, regardless of what the situation is, Deku's falling in the category of pure good.
He might always have good intentions, but hey, I think what he did was wrong, and I don't think Tenet Ito would ever do something like that.
If you were chasing a guy that looked like he stole something, and then he pulled a card on you, like say if it was your girlfriend's bag or something, he'd be like, "You're not the law. You can't search my bag." That's legally speaking, you can't search his bag. And but
then, Deku know,
yeah, but that's legally he's in the wrong, but morally he's correct.
And there was no jewels in the bag.
Yeah, but regardless, he still stole something.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, did that belong to him? You want to go legally speaking? Did that belong to him? Nah, it didn't.
Technically, he didn't even steal anything.
He did.
They gave him the diamond suitcase. He was given the diamond suitcase.
A robber stole something, gave it to him. You were working with him. We're all talking legally here. It's a stolen goods regardless. But now the bags got swapped. Legally speaking, you shouldn't have took that bag.
Okay, correct. But I still think
Anyways, but the movie itself was pretty alright. I think me and Aaron both walked out saying, "Man, like it was a movie."
Yeah, I would say 7.5 still. I think it was good for an anime movie. I can understand why you were like, "Man, the other movie was terrible." Like the second movie,
I didn't like. Before, I hated that.
That movie was terrible. That made me feel like
the movie before was really good.
No, the movie before is when they go to the island and they try to help the island people.
Is it? No, that's not that's the movie prior. I think the movie before was Eri, where she has the ability to.
That wasn't a movie. That was season 4.
No, that was a movie.
I swear, I'm telling you, that was season 4. It just felt like a movie because season 4, it was so fire. It felt like a movie. Like you watched it all in one, and you watched it all in one. But I'm telling you, that was season 4, and it was fire. That should have been a movie.
Because that was I didn't like that part. That's the reason why I'm mixing it up. I didn't like Deku's transformation. Like he looked like he was getting like stronger, and his face changed. They drew it so differently.
They drew it weird because I don't think they had the budget. And you know what I noticed too? So in this movie they had a bigger budget, but they don't flesh out some of the fights, and you can tell like, hey, they're like, yo, we'll draw the fight like this, and we won't like fully flesh it out. There's not enough money and time for that. For the season show, I give them the benefit of the doubt because I'm like, hey, yo, you probably don't have that much money to do it. For the movie, they had sections like that, and I don't think, like, come on, bro, like we were paying whatever $15 or even on the cheap end $7 for the movie, and it should be within the budget to like flesh out all of the fight scenes, because there's some fight scenes where it wasn't fully animated, because we seen what Demon Slayer did, and if Demon Slayer can do it and their animations are of a higher quality than My Hero Academia, you have no choice but to do it.
Demon Slayer studio is insane.
I don't know how they do it.
That's crazy.
It's actually nuts, and
you could compete Demon Slayer season episodes to movies. It's wild.
100%, and I wonder like what they do, what's going on in the back end, but I don't know. It's just.
Do you have any questions regarding any of the stuff in the movie?
No, because I knew it was a one-off. Like this movie's gonna come, and then like in the season, like it's not gonna really make a difference. I think we might see some of the characters again, and this is gonna be the first time we see like connect.
We'll see the characters again for sure.
Not like Todoroki now. I'm talking about like the villain.
Rhodey.
I don't think we'll see Rhodey again.
I think we'll see Rhodey again.
Really? Yeah. I think Rhodey's gone. Like he's gone.
What about? I really did like Deku mastering Black Whip.
Yeah.
And him like going through the city.
Using
He looked like
Spider-Man?
Yeah, he was like Spider-Man.
I was thinking like Spider-Man too. That was actually sick.
I was like, that's pretty hard.
I wonder because the creator of My Hero
is a big fan of Marvel,
like American comics. So I was like, yo, like make him do like Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I wonder.
That was pretty sick.
The Black Whip thing, I wonder how they're gonna do with like so many powers. Like he's gonna end up being so OP.
He's nasty. He's like he'll be ridiculous. Why didn't the previous users of One for All use the other powers? Why is it only Deku? I guess Deku's the chosen one.
I don't know. Maybe they only
because All Might did nothing.
Deku doesn't like Deku isn't strong. Like he needs those powers to be strong. Like if you think about Deku's abilities, like his powers and his ability to use it, it's kind of like he's technically a sucky villain. Like he's like one of those people that, you know how they say like
he's a sucky
talent
hero?
Works hard or working hard versus like talent.
Yeah.
Like Bakugo is like the work hard, and then like Deku has like the talent. Like he has All Might's power.
But he works so hard. He's been working.
Not as hard as Bakugo. He has All Might's power, but you don't think he's as strong as like All Might
because he can't handle it yet.
But that's
All Might had training, like specific training from his master.
Yeah.
Throughout his whole, like from his start of his journey, and he never had to like go to a school and like learn this stuff. He just had to be a hero, and his master wasn't dying. All Might All Might's not All Might anymore, and it's harder for him to, I guess, train him, and then he has to go through the school process, and now there's hero agencies and things like that. So I guess there's slight differences, but working hard, like the man works hard. Let's give it up to him.
Bakugo works hard.
Bakugo works hard too, but I think they're equal in terms of working hard. But Bakugo's also had his ability since he was in kindergarten.
Yeah, I also think about that too.
So his like natural like sweat glands. Nitroglycerin, sweat glands, boom, explosion. He's nasty. He has the best control over his quirk out of everybody. Best, like in Naruto, you know how they say like chakra control?
Yeah.
Like that's him. Like this, he's nasty. I don't think maybe you can say he's on pro hero level in terms of masteries, because he not only can do that, he's always using it. Like there's not a moment where he flies to the villains. He gets there fast. He dodges, he knows hits,
how to turn into bullets, into big explosions.
Small.
He's extremely creative with it.
Stun grenades he has. He can save people, save his friends, everything. Like he's really nice. Like when you think about it, he's actually disgusting. And they might make him the top number one hero at a certain point until
I think they will.
Surpasses him.
Todoroki is like, he's all right. Todoroki's
Todoroki's talent.
Yeah,
that's talent.
Because this guy has like the fire and the ice. Nah, he's gotten everything. And the ice is like OP. The fire is OP.
He's using flash fire, which is his dad's move, but then he uses ice and then flash fire, and like so it makes a different combination. I was kind of like weirded out by that. I didn't know how that made sense. But I guess
I think he traps the fire within the ice or something like that.
Something like that. He has the ability to be like a different level. Like you can tell, like those are the three main like potential kids, and I want to see Todoroki progress more. I want him to take I want them to always, like say if there's like three people and they're all racing. Yeah. I want one to just take over like simultaneously, just continuously take over.
I might rewatch this show because like I remember.
Because at a certain point it seemed like Todoroki won the no, he didn't. He lost the festival. He came second. But he wouldn't use his power till the end. And this was the first time he used his fire, right? Yeah. So you can't even say it was like a fair fight. Like maybe if they were on equal terms, like who knows what happened. But I want to see that. That would be interesting.
I think it would be interesting. But I think that's all I have.
That's all you got?
Yeah. Did you rate it?
No, I didn't rate it. I'll give it a 7.1.
7.1?
7.1 out of 10. I would still recommend watching it. It wasn't like super, super sick. But I feel like if they have another like 7 season, I feel like it's just gonna be an A show then. Like I feel like next season, because you already did a setup, you can't do another setup season. Yeah, the next season has to like hit. If it doesn't, then it's just gonna be like a
downward show. Yeah, no, the next season will hit, because they now it's gonna be them versus the villains, and like now like it's them versus the
and I know if this season was like a 9.5 out of 10, all I would hear is like, oh, it's better than Naruto.
S-rated.
It's S-rated. It's better than Naruto. I would agree with you if it was S rank, but I would only hear, oh, it's better than Naruto. It's much better.
I also want to add that like the creator did mad work, because when I was watching the show, they had mad people with different superpowers, or like with different quirks. That
Egyptian character, he was like a pro hero. He's trash.
What's his power?
I don't know. He just went. He would. You know how they have the stuff written in the
hieroglyphics.
Hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
Bro, he looks just like that. I think that was so lazy, and all he does is he turns like that.
Yeah. I think they did it because he was in Egypt. Like,
I was like, yo, that's so trash. Like, what the heck?
I don't know. They got lazy, but that was definitely not the writer. That was just like whoever made the movie is like, yo, let's add this like Egyptian person. Like, haha, this will be so cool. And then like that's everything. Animes are coming in 60 days. Attack on Titan is coming in 60 days.
No, Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
No, I think we already talked about that. Was December 2022.
Someone says it's coming back in 60 days.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I heard just winter 2022. So they're taking a full year.
You sure?
Yeah.
January 9, 2022. Yeah, January 9th.
Oh, I guess that still falls under winter.
Yeah. So,
I'm thinking like next year winter.
To be honest, I was thinking the same. When you said winter 2022, I was thinking next year winter. But
I guess January does consider winter.
60 days, and then
that's not bad.
Demon Slayer is also going to be in December, so there's going to be a lot.
Isn't Demon Slayer already out?
But what they're doing is showing you the movie. Did you watch? You watched the movie already, right?
Oh, they're just showing it in the season.
The movie, yeah, as a season. That's weird, right?
I heard that. Yeah, why would they do that?
I don't know.
It's already canon.
I think I don't know. Maybe they made all the money they can off the movie, so they're like,
maybe it's to gain more time.
Oh yeah. You know why? Because My Hero isn't canon. The movies aren't technically canon, so you could watch the season and not worry about like what happens next. But the movie is canon for Demon Slayer, so maybe they show it as a season, so you have to watch. Like they're like, yo, you watch this season, and then you'll understand what's gonna happen in season 3. Because if you don't watch the movie, I don't think you'll be able to understand what happens next.
So yeah, I get that, but why would you replay the movie in season 2?
I don't know. It's like its own season.
I hear they do that for Naruto too. They say the movie pretty much gives you everything from episode 1 to episode 60 something, and then you can watch the episodes as well, but it'll just be a slower breakdown version of it.
I don't like. I'm thinking of watching it, but then I'm like, after I watched episode 1 and then episode 2 was like a replay, I was like, yo, I don't know if I want to watch like a replay. Like,
well, you guys can give us like suggestions on like what sort of
facts
animes we should watch. As long as they're not super long, like we can't watch One Piece and then give you a review, because One Piece is gonna take us years. But I have like a couple animes that I've noted down that I could watch.
You sent us one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I forgot the name of it.
Last Hero Inuyashiki. That's supposed to be a new one. The cool thing I liked about it, I saw a little TikTok clip, and it pretty much references like anime now. So like it'll have like a manga, like, oh, are you caught up on the manga? Like the clip was pretty much like he goes in, I think he kills like a family. Yeah. And then the girl comes back from school, and it's a classmate. And then the killer like looks at her and is like, oh, like yeah, I just smoked your family. And then she's like tearing, and he's like, yeah, I need you to shut up so I don't kill you. And then he like searches her room or something. He's like, oh, you're into manga? Like, are you caught up on Attack on Titan? And then she's like hysterical because she just slaughtered her family. And he's like, I'm gonna need you to stop crying so you can give me the answer. He's like, have you watched Death Note or whatever? Like they're referencing Demon Slayer and stuff within the show itself, which is kind of cool, and it was like a cool take on it. And it's not, I don't think there's superpowers from what I know, but it was a good like different.
I like enemies without superpowers.
Beyond the Boundary, I think that's 12 episodes. Darwin's Game,
I watched Darwin's Game.
You watched it?
Yeah.
Okay, I might have to watch that. Death Parade, apparently there's a different Death Note Platinum.
What?
Death Note Platinum End. I'm not sure, but everybody says it's low-key sick. So I might watch all that. If you guys have any suggestions, just like leave them in the comments on our YouTube page. We'll check them out. We'll have other episodes at the end of the video. You can click here or click here. We have Squid Game, and what do we just Eternals. So check that out. But yeah, we're out.
Easy.